Hello everyone, I'm Jeremy from TrustBytes, and today I want to challenge our collective thinking on what's really behind the biggest security breaches in history. Is it sophisticated malware, quantum computing threats, tricky exploits of our code? Actually, it is something far more basic and far more overlooked. First, let me thank the organizers for bringing together such brilliant minds at this conference. Thank you, Christopher, and the whole GatherVerse team. So, we've been laser focused on hardening our systems, perfecting our code, and building walls that no penetration can go through. But folks, let's not kid ourselves. When was the last time we invested equally in securing what actually sits between the keyboard and the chair? That's right, humans. The most unpredictable, ingenious, and vulnerable component in any security system. In our rush to embrace Web3, AI, blockchain, and decentralized systems, we've repeated the same mistake we've been making for decades. We've forgotten about the human element. Take the notorious case from just last week, the Bybit hack. $1.46 billion. Gone! The largest cryptocurrency hack in history. But here's what's fascinating. The blockchain itself, untouched. The smart contracts, technically sound. The multi-signature system, working as designed. So what went wrong? The North Korean Lazarus group didn't break Ethereum. They broke the people. Through sophisticated phishing campaigns targeting Bybit's cold wallet signers, and it's not the first time that attackers impersonated legitimate wallet providers like SafeWallet and Ledger. In this case, they sent spoofed software updates containing malware that replaced genuine user interfaces with malicious versions. Think about this. The signers really believed they were authorizing routine transfers, but the manipulated UI disguised a contract upgrade that granted attackers control over the multi-sig mechanism. By compromising just 2 out of the 5 required signers, the attackers gained sufficient access to modify wallet permissions. And here's the kicker. The CEO then himself, looking at what appeared to be a standard transaction on his compromised interface, authorized the very transaction that changed the underlying smart contract logic. The one who should be the most security conscious person in the organization was deceived by what his own eyes were telling him. Let that sink in. $1.46 billion stolen. Not through quantum computing or breaking encryption, but through carefully crafted emails and fake interfaces that exploited human trust and routine. And this isn't unique to crypto. Remember the Colonial Pipeline attack in 2021? The company had invested millions in cybersecurity infrastructure and network protection. Yet attackers gained access through a single compromised VPN password. One that an employee had reused on another site that had been breached. The human mistake then led to 45% of the East Coast's fuel supply being disrupted and a ransom payment of 75 Bitcoin. Approximately 4.4 million at that time, much more today. The technology wasn't the problem. The human password practice was. Or look at the 2020 Twitter hack that compromised accounts of Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and Barack Obama. Twitter's security systems were functioning correctly, but the attackers called Twitter employees, impersonating IT staff, and persuaded them to enter their credentials into a fake VPN page. Through this simple social engineering, they gained administrative access to Twitter's systems and also their high-profile accounts. So the technology worked perfectly. The human did not. Social engineering, the oldest trick in the book, yet still so effective that it's devastating each time. Why is this happening? Because while technology evolves exponentially, human cognition remains stubbornly linear. Think about this. We've increased our computing power over 1,000,000-fold in the recent decades. And with quantum computing, that actually will become even more extreme. Yet the human brain capacity to process information, to make decisions under stress, and to detect deception has barely changed since we were hunting mammoths. And there's something else at play. As systems become more secure technically, attackers don't waste time banging against hardened code. They follow the path of least resistance, through the humans who control the systems. At TrustBytes, we are confronting this reality head-on. When we built our security and risk visualization platform for the Web3 ecosystem, we recognized that fragmented data and complex technical information create the perfect conditions for human error. Because, let's face it, security isn't just a technical problem. It's a human perception problem. If your security engineer or researcher can't quickly visualize attack vectors, if your CTO can't instantly understand risk exposure, if your CFO can't forecast liquidity, if your CEO can't comprehend security trade-offs in business terms, then you've set up your organization to fail, regardless of how robust your code might be. You know what's particularly troubling about the Bybit case? Their signers lacked training on transaction analysis. They blindly approved what was disguised as routine contract upgrades. They approved transactions without fully understanding their implications. The absence of verification procedures, such as cross-checking transaction hashes across independent devices, allowed the spoofed UI to go undetected. And this is precisely why we are building TrustBytes, to bridge the gaps between technical complexity and human decision-making. Our interactive security intelligence transforms scattered technical data into intuitive visual dashboards. Why? Because humans process visual information 60,000 times faster than text. Our scenario-based risk analysis will enable teams to simulate threats and responses before they actually happen. Why? Because humans learn from practice, not from policy documents. Our platforms will serve as the communication medium between technical teams and executive decision makers. Why? Because humans need shared understanding to make coordinated decisions. Now I can hear the skeptics already. But we do security awareness trainings. We have phishing simulations. We make everyone use hardware keys. And yet, the breaches and hacks continue. Why? Because most security approaches treat humans as robots who should follow protocols perfectly each time under all conditions. That is not how humans work. Humans take shortcuts when stressed. Humans trust interfaces they recognize. Humans follow authority without questioning. Humans make mistakes when tired, and humans get complacent with routine. The Bybit breach exposed how even sophisticated crypto firms fail to account for these human tendencies. They relied on a 3 of 5 multisig, requiring manual approval via hardware wallets, a process vulnerable to UI spoofing attacks. What is very clear from forensic analysis is that the attackers didn't need to break cryptography. They just needed to manipulate human perception of what was being authorized. Technical failures? Perhaps. But fundamentally, human decisions that prioritized convenience over security. So, where do we go from here? First, we need to stop blaming humans for being human. Instead, build systems that work with human psychology, not against it. Second, embrace visualization and simplification. Complexity is the enemy of security because it overwhelms human cognition. Third, design for realistic human behavior, not the ideal wishful one. People will take shortcuts, so make the secure path the easy path. Fourth, test your human systems as rigorously as your technical systems. Red team exercises should target people, not just code or networks. And finally, foster a culture where security decisions are visible, understandable, and measured, because humans respond to what is measured. At TrustBytes, we're turning reactive manual audits into proactive data-driven processes that account for the human factor at every step. Because in the end, security isn't about perfect code or perfect humans. It is about creating systems where humans and technology complement each other's strengths and compensate for each other's weaknesses. The buyback hack wasn't a technical failure. It was a human design failure. And the next major breach, it's probably not hiding in your code. It's waiting in the gap between your technical controls and your human operations. So as you leave today, ask yourself this. Have you secured your technology? Probably. But have you secured the humans who control it? That question might be worth $1.46 billion. Thank you.